Hi guys, this is Sarah from Look What I Made, and today I'm going to show you how to upcycle 3 blouses, because I had 3 blouses that, well, they ripped within a very short time of each other, and surprisingly they're all striped, so they're all blue and white striped, and I'm going to show you what I do with them to maybe savor 1 or 2, so I have different ideas and I'm going to execute it here. And then we'll see which one's the best. So this is actually the first blouse. So this is the second blouse. Wait, I haven't told you what I'm gonna do with the first blouse. Let's go back. Okay, much better, good. So this is the first blouse, and as you can see, not sure which side. Is it this one? No, I think it's this one. There you can see in the back, it's badly ripped, so I can't really wear it. But for this one I have a very simple solution. I'm just gonna sew something over it, so if you have rips like this, you can maybe just sew it quite easily. Now to the second one. So, second blouse again. So this one, it's badly ripped here where the top button is that I often close. So I was wearing a jumper over it and then I stretched and it ripped, and let's not get into the details. So I thought this one could be quite nice if I embroidered something over it. So this is gonna be the second blouse, and now let's go to the third one. So this is the third one, and this is the worst, well, ripped the worst. So I have a very big hole over here, as you can see, and then I have a hole here, and then the fabric's quite thin over here, so that's gonna rip quite soon. And yeah, it was a washing mistake. I made a mistake when washing it, so let's not dwell on that. But I think with this one, because the back is quite alright, it's quite a lot of fabric there, so maybe I can turn this one into a top. Well, at least that's the idea, and then we'll see how that goes. So there goes nothing. Let's get started. So I'm back in my first blouse, because this is where we're gonna start, and I'm gonna explain you now what I'm gonna do. First we need some adhesive fabric. I'm not sure what's it called, neither in English nor in German, so but if you go into a fabric store, they will know what you mean when you say you want some adhesive fabric. So I'm gonna use this in white. I'm gonna cut a stripe and then stick it on the back of the rib of this blouse, so it doesn't feather or it doesn't fray anymore. So this one's gonna be a big helper. I'm also using this for the second blouse, but I'll explain later what I'm gonna do. So, and then we're gonna use these fabric strip, this fabric strip. It's just a white strip that I bought like this, so you can have as much as you want. And it's a bit stretchy, so it's going to be quite difficult to sew. I'm going to have to be very careful so it doesn't like bend and make any weird movements while I'm sewing it, so I have to be very careful when I pin it down. But that's going to happen, and since the blouse is ripped not like in the middle, I'm gonna like put one of the strips over the hole in the blouse, and then to make it symmetrical and to make it look like it's been like this all along, I'm gonna do another strip of this on on the other side of the blouse. Well, not the other side, it's gonna be here and it's gonna be here. I guess you know what I mean. So I'm gonna do a second strip, try to measure the distance from the middle of the blouse exactly the same. So I'm gonna have 2 stripes down the back, and hopefully it looks like it's been there, like I bought it like this. So let's get started. And luckily it has stripes because they help a lot when I'm gonna put this fabric strip over, because they can be used as guidelines. So let's do this. And as you can see, the rip is hidden, so perfect. So let's move on to blouse number 2. As I mentioned, I'm going to embroider it, and I found this bird motif on Pinterest. So first I'm cutting off a batch of the self-adhesive fabric, and then I'm ironing on the place where the blouse is ripped. First I need to transfer the template of the bird onto the blouse. So I'm using a trick mark. You've seen me using this maybe 1 or 2 times if you follow along. This is quite a handy tool because the color disappears over time, and if not, you can just help it with a little bit of water. Now it's time to embroider. For this I'm using embroidery floss, but because the fabric is quite thin, I'm not using the whole embroidery floss, but I'm cutting off a piece, unraveling the strings, and only use 2 or 3. And then first I'm starting with the black details and then moving on to the colorful parts. And for the colorful parts, I'm doing a simple back stitch to make the outline of the form I'm doing, and then I'm filling it with a simple back and forth stitch. So this is the status quo of the embroidery. As you can see, it looks slightly different from the template. I had to make the cap a little bit bigger so you can actually see the eye, but otherwise it looks pretty good. So now that I finished embroidering the bird, I was putting the blouse on and looking at it in the mirror, and I thought that the one bird looks a bit lost. So I thought about doing another bird. So I just did the same process again with a kind of smaller bird over the pocket. And then I had this idea while I was embroidering it to actually also make it a cropped blouse, the one that you can tie in the front and it doesn't have too much fabric in the back. You'll see what I did there once I'm gonna do the reveal. I actually filmed where I explained the whole process, but I was babbling about, so I'm not gonna show that to you. So I finished blouse number 1 and blouse number 2. I'm gonna show you the result of number 2 when I do the whole reveal and show you all of the blouses or what I made out of them. As you might see, I already wearing blouse 1. This was the easiest fix, so this was a huge success. And then we're coming to blouse 3. It's gonna be the trickiest, so I put it off. But yeah, now it's finally time to make something out of this. I'm gonna make a crop top or a crop top out of it, and I have here a top that I really love. It's kind of the shape of it. Another thing is that the fabric is quite see-through. If you have it like just one layer, it's quite see-through. So I need to double that on the front. On the back it should be fine, so I'm gonna leave it in one layer, but on the front I don't want people to see through. So yeah, that's the plan, and to be honest, I'm a bit nervous if it's really gonna work out, because yeah, I don't have any pattern to follow. I only have this crop top that's not actually the right size for what I want to achieve, and yeah, I'm not doing this very often, so yeah, I think it's gonna be a success, and you're coming along with me on the way. Now we'll see how it turns out, but yeah, watch along, and yeah, let's get started measuring my chest. So now that I've drawn the lines and I tried to place it on here or draw the measurements here, I thought I'm gonna make a quick pattern out of paper. So this looks like this. This would be the front. So I also made the pattern because I'm gonna need it twice. As I said, this fabric is quite see-through. I already tried to place it here on the back and it doesn't fit there twice, so I might have to assemble 2 pieces to make the insides. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do now. So I drew the outline now, and now I'm gonna add some sewer lines. Tiny little hiccup. I don't have enough fabric to do the front twice. So what I'm gonna do is just make an edge all around here, so at the top and then around the side, so I have a nice line, nice how's it called? Sewing? Let me know in the comments below. So it looks nice around the edges, around here. These sides will be closed anyway, and then I have enough fabric to do the back. I'm not gonna have enough fabric to do all of it, like the front twice and the back. So that has to do. So I made now a template for the back. This is what it looks like. So where's the front? Sorry, yeah, here. So this is the front, and this is going to be the back. So it's gonna look like this. It's gonna be a bit further up, and then of course I do it twice because here the zipper is gonna go. I now cut both sleeves off because this is the only fabric that I can use. Because on one side of the front of the formal blouse I have holes, and on the other side I have a pocket, and they are too narrow anyway, so this is nothing that I can use. But the sleeves look good. So now I've cut all the pieces. This is the front with that edge I'm gonna sew. And then here I have two edges for the back. I have two pieces of this. One is missing. I'm gonna find that later. And I'm gonna use now this adhesive fabric again. Hopefully you didn't think that I'm not gonna use it now that I use it on every single blouse that I redid, upcycled, prepared, probably just prepared. And then I'm also gonna hem all the edges with zigzag stitching so it doesn't fray on the edges. So I quickly want to show you how I'm gonna apply the zipper. So what you do, as you can see, it's all closed, but that's on purpose. So you sew those two pieces together. I sewed here quite tight, so to normal close it, because that's the point to where the zipper goes. So normal here, then a bit of back and forth stitch here to close it off. And then I switched to a very wide stitching, as you might can see here, and then I sewed the rest. Then I ironed it open, and now what you do, now comes the trick, you put the zipper up here. So I try to place it on that seam that I just made. And then what you do is take your sewing machine and sew very tightly alongside the zipper, and then sew it, open it and sew the rest, and then you can undo those bigger stitches from the outside, and what you have is a fine edge where the zipper sits on the inside. So now that the zipper is done, I'm going back to the front, and remember this part that I did with that adhesive fabric, this is gonna come into play now, because this will make a very nice edge when I sew it right on right. And then I prepared these straps, and this will be the straps that obviously connect the front to the back. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna place them under here, so just in the corner, and on the other side as well, of course. And then as I turn it around, well, back on the right side, I'm not sure if I can like make this visible for you. So I'm gonna turn this around. This comes to the back. This will be the front, there will be the seam, and these straps are just coming out of that seam. So to finish my shirt off, I put it on. Well, I actually put pins in where I thought I'm gonna close it. As you can see, I have a very large overlap, but that's okay. I can still cut it and hem the edges, but that's better than, yeah, a too small one. I did this on both sides. And then, as you can see, I sewed on those hems on the back, and then I left a little gap open, so I put the straps in so I can still adjust them to the size I wanted. I'm gonna sew this now, the edges. I'm gonna sew on the straps, cut them off, and then I'm gonna hem the bottom, and it should be finished, and I can reveal you the final look. So guys, I can now finally show you all blouses that I made. So you've seen me wearing this blouse throughout the video once I've repaired it. This is the one that was ripped in the back. So you can see here, I only sewed those stripes on it. But now let's also look at the other styles that I did, where the transformation is a bit bigger. So let's look at style number 2. Yeah, as you can see, I not only stitched those birds on the blouse, but I also shortened it so I can tie it together, kind of like the look with the long sleeves and yeah, the cropped shirt, the cropped blouse. And this was actually quite nice, or it is nice. Blouse number 3 that didn't stay a blouse, that actually got a crop top look. Yeah, this is what it turned out to be. Yeah, so as you can see, I mean, it's short, and you can't really make it like tight to your body because it also is not stretchy material. It's also 100% cotton, but I think it looks really great. It's kind of tight to squeeze in and get out, but yeah, it's perfect in my opinion. Also, I mean, it's a rescue blouse. I would have thrown it out. I mean, all 3 of those. What do you think? Do you like blouse 1, the blouse 2, or the top I made out of blouse 3? Which one is your favorite? Comment below in the video, under the video, and I hope to see you next time.